Ulysses for Eilin O'Dea. Thank you.
What'll I wear? Shall I wear a white rose, or those fairy cakes and Liptons? I love the smell of a rich big shop at 7.5 a pound, or the other ones with cherries in them and pinky sugar, 11 a couple of pounds. Of course, a nice plant for the middle of the table. I get that cheaper in weight. Where's this? I saw them not long ago. I love flowers. I'd love to have the whole place swimming in roses. God of heaven, there's nothing like nature. The wild mountains, then the sea and the waves rushing, and the beautiful country, and fields of oats and wheats and all kinds of things, and all the fine cattle going about would do your heart good to see. Rivers and lakes and flowers, all sorts of shapes and smells and colours, springing up even out of the ditches, primroses and violets. Nature it is. As for them saying there's no God, I wouldn't give a snap of my 2 fingers for all their learning. Why don't they go and create something, I often asked him. Atheists, or whatever they call themselves, go and wash the cobbles off themselves first. And then they go howling for a priest and they're dying. And why? Why? Because they're afraid of hell on account of their bad conscience. Ah, yes, I know them well. Who was the first person in the universe before there was anybody that made it all? Who? Ah, that they don't know, neither do I, so there you go. They might as well try to stop the sun from rising tomorrow. The sun shines for you, he said. The day we were lying among the rhododendrons on Hoth Head in his grey tweed suit and his straw hat. The day I got him to propose to me. Yes. First I get him a bit of seed cake out of my mouth, and it was a leap year like now, 16 years ago. My God, after that long kiss, I near lost my breath. Yes, he said I was a flower of the mountain. Yes, so we are flowers, all a woman's body. Yes, that was one true thing he said in his life. And the sun shines for you today. Yes, that was why I liked him. Because I saw he felt or understood what a woman is. And I knew I could always get round him. And I gave him all the pleasure I could, leading him on, till he asked me to say yes. And I wouldn't answer first, only looked out over the sea and the sky. I was thinking of so many things he didn't know of. Hester and father and old Captain Grove and the sailors playing all birds fly, I say swoop, and washing up dishes, they called it, on the pier, and the sentry in front of the governor's house with the thing round his white helmet, poor devil, half roasted, and the Spanish girls laughing in their shawls and their tall combs, and the auctions in the morning, the Greeks and the Jews and the Arabs and the devil knows who else from all the ends of Europe, and Duke Street and the fowl market all clucking outside Larby Sharon's, and the poor donkey slipping half asleep, and the vague fellas in the cloaks asleep in the shade on the steps, and the big wheels of the carts of the bulls, and the old castle, thousands of years old, yes, and those handsome Moors, all in white and turbans like kings, after you to sit down in their little bit of a shop, and Rhonda with the old windows of the posadas, glancing eyes a lattice hid for her lover to kiss, the iron and the wine shops half open at night, and the castanets, and the night we missed the boat at Algeciras, the watchman going about serene with his lamp, and oh, that awful deep down torrent, and the sea crimson sometimes like fire, and the glorious sunsets, and the fig trees in the Alameda gardens, yes, and all the queer little streets, and pink and blue and yellow houses, and the rose gardens, and jessamines and geraniums and cactuses, and Gibraltar as a girl, where I was a flower of the mountain, yes. When I put the rose in my hair, like the Andalusian girls used her, shall I wear a red? Yes. And how he kissed me under the Moorish wall, and I thought, well, as well him as another. And then I asked him with my eyes to ask again. Yes. And then he asked me, would I? Yes, to say yes, my mountain flower. And first I put my arms around him, yes, and drew him down to me so he could feel my breaths all perfume, yes. And his heart was going like mad, and yes, I said, yes, I will, yes. Woo!
Fabulous, Eileen. What an affirmation that is, just of what we are as a people, as a race. And James Joyce gave us the words to express that affirmation. And we're gathered here today in the stupid Irish weather, in the cold on June the 16th, and we've had an unforgettable afternoon, despite the weather. And it's been a pleasure to have you all here today. And it's been a pleasure to have all these different people read and sing and tell stories and share and celebrate as we do, because that's who we are as a people. We're storytellers, essentially, the Irish. That's what we are. And Joyce was the pinnacle. He was the high priest. So I'm going to ask Stacey